Hello, one and all in one. My things are so long. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're having a phenomenal day out there, wherever you may be. Maybe you're having some rainy weather, as I'm looking out right now, and it's starting to sprinkle, and I'm talking ice cream, or maybe it's bright and sunny. Appreciate you being here, whatever the weather. Whether the weather is good or bad. Let's listen to this track. Are You Lonely? All About Eve. This is coming off of their third studio album, Touched by Jesus, released in 1991. We are checking this out as it was suggested and sponsored by Paul. So Paul, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the support and the request here. I'm trying to see if anyone else suggested this particular track. I believe I see Polymorphia also mentioned this one as well, so thank you also. We've listened to one track from the band, that would be Martha's Harbor, and that's it. So let's go ahead and explore a little bit more with this particular song. We'll discuss it after. Here we go. It's the final track also on the album, just for context. Bloom there.
And if we believe, wisdom comes with years, as knowledge stings our eyes, the easier.
Expecting a little orchestra from me. Has that end of the album kind of feel to it too. Her voice has this perfect kind of quiet power to it. a big moment there.
Are you lonely?
Big moment. That feels like the quintessential final track on the album. That feels like the perfect ending for the album, even though we haven't touched anything from this one or heard anything previously from it. It just feels like it's wrapping everything up in a perfect sized, emotional, big kind of bow here. Her singing, I think, is this big standout, to be honest. That's going to be Julianne Reagan here with the vocals. And I think her voice has this perfect purity, but also just the right amount of power in a track like this. Because it's not like she's singing in a way that she's trying to, for lack of a better word, diva it up or push, in a bigger way over the orchestration or over the music. She's still singing very much kind of perfectly in line and perhaps even arguably slightly under the music, just kind of adding a nice, little melody underneath it. But I like how her voice is so in line and in sync with everything happening in that regard, allowing a lot of room for the actual music to kind of take place and take precedence in this track. So you have who's doing the orchestration? That's going to be the Astartes String Orchestra led by Gavin Wright. So that's handling that here. And I wasn't expecting them to come in, but I really like how they come sweeping in, kind of not saving the day, but kind of like giving a cape to a superhero. Like they just add that certain sort of flashiness isn't the right word, but an extra kind of adornment, we'll say, to the music here. I like the moments where the guitar kind of comes in sweeping a little bit more as well. That's Marty Wilson Piper, who we've heard from The Church. Interesting that he's here on this album. And also I see on this album you have David Gilmour. I'm imagining, okay, one, I don't know how that happened, how he came to be in this particular album and this track, but I do see that he's performing guitar in this particular song. I'm assuming that's him in the very beginning, because now that I'm thinking about that, that would be Gilmour-esque. The kind of whale song abstract in the back, echoes kind of thing happening back here. And then probably also the long notes that come in, like even before that and around that section. So that would make sense. I would assume that he's handling the beginning. I don't think this is, I don't know. For all I know, he could also be playing guitar throughout this track after that. But I didn't hear anything else that necessarily sounded too much like him, except maybe some of those longer notes, maybe around the orchestration. But I'm assuming that perhaps it's Marty taking care of that, or maybe it's split duty between him and Gilmour. Who knows? Either way, that was a nice way of kind of building up into that particular section. It has that perfect kind of 90s sound suit here, like production-wise, where everything's nicely in line. But the drum fills also feel nice. I like some of the melodic little bits here that happen with the piano. I think that was also like one of the nice standouts in this particular track. And the big moments feel big. Like that guitar. That could be Gilmour also. That could be. But yeah, this track reaches for the stars. It reaches for those big heights. And I think that it hits them in a good way. I will say, perhaps out of context, but I will say that this track, while it does sound good, feels good, sounds nice, and I think that it hits all those emotional kind of resonances, it doesn't really do too much for me. Part of me wishes that there was maybe a little bit more variation or something in this track, or a solo, or something else like that. That's just me. That's my personal preferences. Like I said, I think it sounds nice, but it doesn't hit that, it doesn't get me, grab me, shake me, thrill me in that regard. Do you feel so small on Sunday afternoon in your loveless house full of empty rooms? Once a place of life, once upon a time, flames are dying out while ghosts move in, crossing on the stair, asleep in empty chairs. Tell me, are you lonely? So yeah, this house used to be filled with life and love, and now, well, look at it now. And if we believe wisdom comes with years, as knowledge stings our eyes, the easier the tears, cradled in the sadness a heart that never aches. I'm praying with all mine. I won't make the same mistakes. You're not going to do this to me twice. Are the dark seeds there in the blood we share? Tell me, Are you lonely? I like how she ends each of these lines, each of these verses rather, with "Are you lonely?" Tell me, how are you feeling these days? While love lives, while sun sets, while snow moons rise in November skies, while ties bind, while souls cry, while oceans ride in an endless tide, while love grows, while blood flows, while truth is real, you need never feel alone. What seems to hurt the most is giving up the ghost. So tell me, are you lonely? You know what's interesting? You could read this track, at least maybe on my first listen, like reading through this, you could kind of read this in a few different ways. In a caring way or in a, not vengeful, but, are you happy now kind of way. I actually read this more in a caring way. Do you feel small on a Sunday afternoon in your loveless house? Are you lonely? Maybe it's more in a caring way. Cradled in sadness, a heart that ever aches. Not never aches, but ever aches. I'm praying with all mine. I won't make the same mistakes. Are you lonely? She reveals a little bit of herself here. She opens herself up and still asks the question, are you lonely? There's an interesting kind of way of looking at this. Yeah, I'm taking back what I said before, and I'm going to say that this is more of a comforting kind of track. That makes more sense. Now that I'm reading it a little bit more in depth here. Let me know what you all thoughts of the track, of course, and naturally down in the comments below. Paul, thank you so much for the request. I appreciate you sending this over for me. Let me know down there. Hope you have a fantastic, phenomenal rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.